Since Saturday, when I had wrapped up that last short story of mine and sent it off, I've been feeling a bit confused. My interest now in doing this first draft of this short story has started to wane quite a bit. It's not my usual MO. Typically, when I go into these scenarios, new stories, always really excited. Always really excited, and I am so happy to be getting into them and just cranking these sort of stories out. And yet today it's not like that. Today it's a bit of a different one. Really, the past couple days, it's felt like I'm sort of doing this now out of a sense of obligation. And I'm recognizing now that it's time to wrap this up. It's becoming more and more clear to me that I need to wrap this up, that I need to get whatever I'm working on, whatever projects I'm doing right now, they need to be wrapped up. They got to be finished up. So in this case, it's simply getting this draft of the story done. The reason for it is the writing process in a lot of the goals that you go for, they do come in chapters and phases. I've spoken before about this. I've talked a lot about how there are periods of time when you have to recognize that a project is simply done, that you've done as much as you can and you need to move on, that you can't milk any more out of it, or you need to take a break. It's true of anything in life. So many things in life, so many things we go after, it comes in its own sort of phase. It really does. It has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end. And oftentimes we overstay that. So many times we overstay our projects. I mean, and this is everybody. I mean, like think of how many TV shows that you've seen where they jump the shark, right? They've gone on past their peak, and it's very clear that the show is just staying on for really just the money, right? Or to fulfill some sort of contractual obligation. Comedies, sitcoms, like and even cartoons, those are the biggest examples. Like, my God, The Simpsons, it's been on for over 30 years now. Something like that. I mean, it has to be well over 30 years at this point. It's been out, and it's nothing new. It's the same bit. Family Guy's getting like that as well. That's another one where the comedy has just died to the point where it's this formulaic thing where there's nothing new. There's no new character developments. Nothing really that interesting. It's just gag after gag after gag, and you get maybe one or two kind of laughs out of it in an episode, and then you look and you go, well, that was just 20 minutes of my life that's wasted. These things happen. You overstay past your projects, and you need to step away from them. In my case, I really got to start looking towards taking this summer off from the short story collection and jumping back in the fall with fresh stories, something new to add, etc. And so that's going to be the game plan. I don't think I'm going to get to... Yeah, I don't see myself getting all the way through May before I start working on getting my story self-published, my novel there. It's going to happen a lot quicker. It's going to mean that I probably put there's going to be a lot of days where it's going to be a lot of busy work and not really, you're going to see me with the computer here not doing a whole lot of prose. Just, again, the busy work aspect of self-publishing plays a big factor, especially when I haven't done anything yet. I haven't chosen my cover design. I haven't even had, my editor hasn't even gotten back their draft yet of my story, so they're not going to be done probably for another month or so anyways. So going into it, I'm not necessarily happy that I won't be doing as much actual writing, but it's becoming clear now I need to take that break. I gotta take the basically now probably 4 months away. Take 4 months off from this thing. Let the stories I complete do well. Let the first drafts that I've penned sit, and then I can come back in the fall with fresh eyes, and we're going to take this thing on head first. As far as what happens with this current draft of a short story that I'm working on right now, I'll finish it up. I'm gonna stick it out and finish it up. I'm not sure how long I got. I think I have more than a week worth of work left still, I think. So it's probably going to take more than a week, even if I'm kind of operating at like a pace of, all right, just get this done with. And it's a relatively short story as well. It's not nearly as long as my usual ones. But it's probably still going to take over a week. So when that happens, though, when the time comes, probably sometime early to mid-May, we're calling it. It's becoming very clear. We gotta switch over. You need to have some degree of self-awareness in this process. If you yourself are kind of considering putting a project on hold or stopping or what have you, or ending it, you got to have the self-awareness to know that you're not just in a rut, that you're not just stuck, that it's not just you being confused and frustrated because you're stuck on a section that you can't figure out. That's not really a phase or a chapter coming to an end. That's just you being stuck and looking for the easiest and most direct solution, which is just to stop. It takes self-awareness. It takes a lot of kind of self-reflection and introspection to figure out what your emotions are towards this thing. But if you can find out, if you come to the conclusion that this is about you just not having enough new stuff, you can't make this project any fresher, you've kind of milked as much as you can out of it, at least for now, then take the time away, switch it up. Not all of us can do that. You know, there might have been times when I was working on this novel I'm about to self-publish, this novel Crease, where I probably would have told myself, yeah, it's because you have nothing fresh. And in truth, there's some truth to that. I had to take some time away to come back to it with some new ideas and some different ways of approaching some of the challenging sections. But I didn't have the luxury. I had, when I wrote the first draft of my novel there, in the second and third and the fourth and the fifth, I was going for my MFA and I needed something to get a passing grade. So we don't always have the luxury of doing this, but if you do have the luxury of doing it, if you're not desperate and in great need of getting the story out for some reason, be reflective, be very in tune with yourself and figure it out. And if you determine that, yeah, no, I need to take some time away from this project here, I really got to think this thing over, I got to figure out what I can do with it, or maybe you come to the conclusion that I can't do anything more with it, I got to just finish it up and submit it and then be done with it, end it, and go on to something new. It happens a lot. Don't ever underestimate that. Don't ever underestimate the idea that these things do come to an end, that you can only push a story so far. You can only do so much with a story. Even if it's not perfect, if you've done as much as you can and it's come to its natural ending, this project, and you can kind of feel it, you can sense it, then it's time to go. It's time to go. And I was saying this back in the fall when it was time to wrap up my second novel there. I think I said it recently as well. I don't remember when, but yeah, chapters and phases. All of this happens in chapters and phases, and be in tune with it. A year ago, I was in a phase of, yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to stay in my small, tight bubble of seclusion here, and I'm going to get my novel done. I'm going to get this project done. That was a phase. It came to an end. Now I'm working full-time and doing this again. You know, everything in the process has a certain phase to it. Recognize where you're at and recognize when a phase comes to an end.